Absolutely. If they don't let Titan start to get the bank, and more importantly, get the bank to the point where they can afford to buy 2 AWPs if they lose again, right? That's worst case scenario. But we're getting to the thick of it, Anders. And again, Titan are just going straight up nades, no Kevlar. Kit and double flash picked up on Maniac, and then the rest of them are just rocking nades.
Yeah, and this time, actually, we do have a functional Go TV, so we can see some of the action in non-slideshow, which is great news, especially when Existence can land a shot like this. Over on long, it's Maniac taking a prolonged fight with GMX, and he's going to pick up the kill, even though GMX got very close, which is dangerous when you have a USPS like Maniac did. But this is a great start for Titan.
Yeah, this is fantastic for Titan. And now Titan, we can see how they're kind of just spreading out. They don't really need to take the fights aggressively anymore. KQLY's got a smoke. He's going to get flashed in. Goes running past, and he actually goes running right past FXO, who is waiting by stairs. Uzi's waiting for the push out long. Maniac's going to take one to the face. Nicely done there. Even gets a nade out of it. So Uzi's going to be pretty pleased. And this brings it back to a 3-on-3 here. SF in a position to cut off the rotation from B site. He's going to pick up one, and there's a second one here that he can stop as well.
Yeah, he's going to try at least FS being shot, SF being shot in the back here, but Apex only picks up the one kill, and that now leaves Kenny in a bit of a tricky position. He realizes SF is right here. He's going to come leaping in, and they double team him. It's Uzi picking up a triple. Actually, the guy that saved the pistol round from Epsilon in the first map, so that's pretty interesting. Uzi maybe has a knack for it, but it feels like to me, and you'll correct me if I'm wrong, Samuel, but it feels like Titan actually gave up a lot of this round on their own, just being not too patient here.
Well, not being patient, perhaps, but also I feel like Epsilon played that really well with the buddy system. And the man on Cat, when Apex, he gets one kill, but there's a second guy there to get the kill, to get the follow-up kill, right? When Kenny was coming in through CT Slope, there was one guy alive right there in Element, and then, or on the boxes, right, on CT Slope. But Uzi, instead of going for the plant and leaving his mate to die, they use the mate as bait, and Uzi gets the final kill. So those last 2 kills were actually really nicely done there by Epsilon. I feel like that was actually pretty thorough play.
Are you saying great bait, mate?
Yeah, great bait. This is like when baiting actually works, right?
Yeah, would you rate it 8 out of 8 as well? Because, I mean, that's
totally.
Perfect. Maniac charging out here, almost gets knifed in the face. What on earth is going on over at long? It's now a 5-on-2. And Titan maybe playing this one a little bit more clumsily than they did in the first map, because actually this round from Titan previously was when Apex picked up 2 headshots with a scout and did a lot of economic damage to Epsilon, which right now isn't happening. The terrorist side is holding on to all their rifles.
Wow, they're just barely holding on to him. Scream down to 10 HP. Existence has got the scout. He's going to go for a shot. And that's going to be Uzi. There's still a man alive, however, in Upper Dark. SF just goes for the jumping CZ to the face, and Existence gets taken out there. So that's a fantastic anti-eco round out of Epsilon in the end. They get scarily low, but they don't die. And that's the important bit there. Titan aren't going to be too pleased with that. And now, Titan, having spent money in the last round, they should have to eco pretty severely here. KQLY, I can't imagine him wanting to spend much money. He's going to want to get that AWP, and the same could be said for Kenny S. Both of them floating around 3,000. So again, it's going to be a double AWP play immediately here for Titan.
Well, it seemed like, and I don't really blame them. Interestingly enough, actually, in the first round last time around when Titan picked up the AWP, or the double AWP setup, it did almost nothing for them. They both lost the AWPs, and they both did just very badly with them. So I'm hoping that they can step it up here, because KQLY and Kenny should be able to do a lot on the CT side. But I think overall right now, Epsilon have a better start than they did on the first map, and that's good news.
Yeah, this is going to give them some confidence for sure. Existence is going to get caught out in the open. Nicely done there by SF. Apex is very close, though, and this is what we saw time and time again. Titan not wasting any time, really willing to commit bodies to that B site, or that rotation towards B site fairly quickly. FX is going to awkwardly get caught and not spot Maniac, and that's actually a scout and a smoke picked up here for Maniac, but Uzi is there to deny it, and that's going to be a very clean anti-eco yet again, only losing FXO.
Yeah, definitely doing better right now. Uzi with 0 deaths. Bit of a bank on his side. And now we're looking for it. And you did call it already. The double up setup immediately picked up here by the Titan side. And actually there's none right now on FX on the T side. So that's interesting.
Yeah, I'm surprised that FX just bought straight with the AK. And Uzi had 6,000. Uzi could have definitely dropped an AWP for him. So that was definitely interesting there that they decided to go for aggression over the op play, the slow op play.
Oh, good pick off there by KQLY, and also they do still control short here, though Apex will go down, so good return from Scream. Can they kill more? Now the bomb is dropped here. Super Fighter running through the smoke. I think that may have been a little bit too crazy right now. GMX is going to go down, and Scream alone in a 1-on-3 is going to get dropped by KQLY, who picks up a triple. I don't know, Epsilon. I think they may have overcommitted to that push on short. Once they lost the first guy and returned the kill, I think they should have slowed down instead of keeping up the aggression.
I'm wondering if they could have backed out at that point, though, because they really didn't waste any time. I feel like it was more just them getting anti-stratted. Basically, Titan had 4 guys waiting on A, and that's about worse. That's about as bad as it gets for Epsilon if in that sort of scenario. Because if there's 3 guys there and they manage to get control of long fast like that and get out on Cat, it's like okay then. But with 4 guys there for Titan, that's like walking into a blender. FXO finds Kenny though and wins that duel mid with the AWP. So Epsilon are on the right track to bounce back here at least.
And they are. Scream is going to find Apex, and that's a very good second kill coming in here from Epsilon. Now they have the man advantage. They have plenty of time. That grenade is going to kill Existence too, and that should give them the round. It should be almost impossible for them to lose unless they just walk themselves into KQLY's AWP, and instead actually they're going to smoke it off and go for the B-bomb side, which is the only sensible move. They've already checked that there's nobody there, so now they can actually even go hunting once the bomb is down.
Yeah, and I hope that they recognize that they can go for the hunt right here. They're going to see that nobody's around. They should have had decent map coverage. And yeah, you already have GMX moving out. He's going to be in T-spawn looking to flank. There's going to be Maniac right around the corner. KQLY gets caught, and that's GMX. He's revealed his position, but KQLY... It's going to be Maniac to find GMX. But now they know exactly where Maniac is. He's got the AWP, though. Double guys pushing out at long. Good flash, but it's not going to be good enough. Uzi will find the headshot.
Ah, this is looking very scary right here. They actually, they have the AWP and FX still, and Titan's double or play doesn't do anything this round at all. So 4-1, Titan back to ecoing. This is, again, I think, for the beginning of the half here, looking really good for the Epsilon team.
This is a total change right now from what we saw. Well, what we saw in the first map. Kenny getting tagged, FXO starting to get warmed up a little bit, or Foxyo. There's, basically you can call him Foxyo. We seem to have just led with FXO, but apparently his name is Foxyo, so we should probably start saying that as well.
Yeah, or just FX. I mean, yeah, I don't know. I guess Foxyo is the correct term. It's just very hard to break that habit.
It is, isn't it?
His name very clearly says FXyo, right? But
it's one of those things, right? You just have to kind of know. It's like Sipnix, right? Unless you know what he's aiming for with Sipnix, it's kind of tough to make that. Or Senya, all right, you have names like that where it's like you know how to pronounce them, but they aren't spelled anything like they're supposed to be pronounced, or they're just like tricky spelling. Foxyo, I guess, is that as well. So
yeah,
whatever. Foxyo, strong start.
And apparently, there's an even more elaborate story to Sipnix's name, which I think Vendetta's told us a couple of times. About how it's meant to be pronounced, but nobody ever did, so now he kind of just gave up, which is kind of funny. But that's good. We'll respect Foxyo and just call him what he is. We'll prefer that. We'll get the full story at one point to how he came up with that name. Maybe there's an interesting explanation behind. Like I think Devilwalk once gave me his explanation about why he's called Devilwalk, which has to do with like a Swedish politician, which is called. She's called something like.
Was it a Swedish politician, or was it his friend who was Angel Run?
Yeah,
and
but
so they played together, and then he was like, "Okay, I need a name, so I'll just go with Devil Walk because it's the opposite of Angel Run."
Yeah, but his friend, there was something about a Swedish politician called something, and then Devil Walk became somehow the opposite. It's very, very convoluted, very complex. We'll get it sorted out one day. I'll dig out the full story. It's very curious, as you could maybe expect when it comes from Devil Walk, right?
Yeah, Devil Walk's such a cool cat. He was corrupting Exist the other day. He posted a picture to Twitter, Exist wearing the Fnatic hat. If this was LOL, Exist would get fined. So, it's a good thing, take advantage of the liberty you have now, guys. Soon.
Soon.
Valve are gonna roll in with the nerf bat.
I'm not sure Valve are crazy enough to care like Riot do. Maniac is actually gonna get flashed in and take down Scream, who was caught alone on short. That's very unfortunate now for Epsilon, but they do make it up on long, and I'm not sure Titan have the equipment to stop them here. They're going to flash their way through, and oh, look at this Apex with the pistol taking down Uzi already. This is looking really good now for the CT side.
Yeah, this is starting to get really scary. KQLY with the headshot on SF. This is worst case scenario now for Epsilon. They're going to manage to bring one kill back their way. GMX is barely hanging on by a thread with 3 HP, but Maniac, he catches FXO, or Foxyo. Oh, and even gets the kill with the AWP as well. That's just insult to injury. That's brutal. Maniac, what a hell of a round from him. 3 kills for him in this eco round from Titan. That's not how it was supposed to go for Epsilon, because you're thinking, great, they're going to be able to deal with this eco round. They're going to be able to get 6 rounds on the board, and Titan are going to be under pressure going into this next bye. Now, Titan get a whole lot of guns. They get an AWP to give to Kenny. KQLY's got money to buy an AWP, and because they saved like 4 rifles, they get to just hold on to a bunch of money. Excuse me, a bunch of money this round.
It's very curious, right? Because as soon as they lose Scream, they must have realized there were a bunch of people on short, and they still stuck around to committing to A long, which I'm not even sure is such a bad idea. But then they somehow got caught out with flashes and smokes and everything. I don't know. That felt like a very sloppy round from Epsilon, unfortunately. And Scream is going to go down the beginning of this round. Kenny will pick him up, and there's that double up setup in play again. This is going to be really rough for Epsilon. If they lose this based off of an eco round or an anti-eco that they should have won, well, they can still buy next round if they lose this, but it's going to be very frustrating, I feel.
Well, nice kill there by Uzi onto Apex at CT. That brings it back to a 4-on-4, and they're actually cut cleanly in half here. GMX, or Maniac rather, is going to try and push out through long house. He gets caught by GMX, and that's actually going to open things up here for Epsilon. They can decide if they want to go B, A, and it looks like it will be a short play here. Existence trying to get that information to relay it to his teammates, but KQLY is going to be the only man alive on CT slope with that AWP.
Yeah, and not quite enough almost, though he did get some good kills in, and Kenny is going to catch GMX crossing over. There's going to be a Molotov in here as well. Won't prevent the bomb plant, unfortunately, so it's still going to be now a 2-on-2 with Kenny very low on health, and look at how they're going to chase him down. Existence sprays on one, he can't connect with Super Fighter, and Epsilon will just barely win the round, pick up the AWP, and now they're well on their way. This is much better for Epsilon than it was previously. 6-2. And Titan are going to have to step up their game right here.
Yeah, but Titan, because of that eco round win, now they have quite a bit of money to put into this round here. And we can see that Kenny goes for an AWP. He could have dropped a FAMAS for KQLY, but it looks like they had enough money to get a drop for KQLY regardless. So, not the end of the world, but still, Titan have another chance here to actually stop Epsilon early on if they can make this buy round work, because they actually do have a pretty decent number of nades to work with these rifles as well.
Oh, man.
And they're going for the boost at mid again. Look at this. It seems like it's going to be a common strat out of this team. Apex and Existence stacking up really close to mid doors, looking to catch somebody off guard. It's either if they push through or if they start going up cat. And this is look at Apex. He can see over the smoke blocking off mid doors right now. So if anybody walks up cat, they're going to walk right into Apex.
Flashbang goes through once. He's just seconds away from being able to pick up this kill. Uzi's going to be the target of choice, but Uzi actually kills KQLY beforehand, so instead of just being a favorable trade for Titan, they now just are back into a 4-on-4. And if they go short right now, good flashbang there from Apex. Going to buy him a little bit of time to get into a better position. That's actually really important here, that he doesn't get caught mid-rotation.
Oh yeah, this is a real problem. Look at this. Okay, GMX looking for the shot, but he gets flashed, and Apex is going to stay alive on A slope, and now the name of the game is all staying alive for Apex. Another flash, but SF manages to spray him down blind. Existence is alive on CT slope. He instantly gets caught. Headshot from ScreaMy into a 3-on-2, and now Foxio looking to find the shot on Maniac Long, who just barely manages to stay alive and get around that corner in time.
Oh, Kenny reveals his position as well. He's going to pick off Scream, but I'm not sure if it's not too late here. Pushing up, he's going to get taken down by Super Fighter. 7-2, and it's going to be an eco round from Titan. Look at how differently this is turning out. We're looking at an 8-2 lead here for Epsilon. This is, I mean, they finished the first game with a total of 8 rounds, and right now they're just 1 round away from actually achieving that in the first half. So, yeah, same map, same teams, even the same starting point. And it's a very different result already.
Oh, it's looking really good. Existence getting tagged again. FXO is getting really good at landing those shots at mid, and that's going to be really annoying for Titan. But looking at the money right now, Titan, they've got at least 1 round of eco ahead of them here. And this is the important part. Epsilon, if they can make it so that Titan never really have that money to be able to go for that expensive double up, it's a great opportunity for Epsilon to just keep plowing through Titan, because Titan are good, but they have 2 extremely good oppers. They have good riflers, but the power for them is, you know, making those ops work. And if Epsilon can keep Titan off of those expensive guns, off of those expensive buys, they have a real chance at taking a lot of rounds here on their T-half.
Definitely, because we saw on the first map how much it mattered to Titan to pick up those rifles, which could also mean that when they don't have those rifles, they're going to be running strats that they're slightly less confident on the CT side, right? A lot of their CT side play on Dust 2 seems to have been based around those AWPs, so they don't have them. Maybe they're just a little bit less effective than they otherwise would be.
You can be sure that they're not going to be like overly pleased with the outcome. Right now, it's going to be Maniac holding onto an AK and Pit. And at this point, he just needs to stay alive. The only problem is that you've got two guys from Epsilon who have plenty of money, so they can afford to go out and hunt. And Maniac gets spotted immediately. Now two guys are here to hunt him down. Molly going to keep him in the back. He's going to get sprayed down here in the end, and that's really nicely done there by Epsilon, making sure that Titan can't hold on to any guns, making sure that Titan have to spend that money. And now we look at it, they're all around 47, 45. There isn't going to be an AWP picked up here. There's 4,500 and 4,700. KQLY is $50 short of picking up an AWP, so no sniper rifle for Titan. Whereas Foxio, he's got his AWP, and he's got more than enough money to buy another one next round.
Yeah. So that's just a lot of things working against Titan right now. They do need to start winning rounds, so I actually don't blame them for picking up these rifles instead of saving for the double AWP. But it's a big risk. If they're going to lose this one, they're going to be even further behind. That's the opening kill. Apex with one return. Kenny in the back here. And there's actually going to get help. Apex just spraying people down. That's a triple before he finally falls. And he may have done enough here. It's a 2-on-3. Foxio walking into the bomb site, scoped up, looking for Kenny. He knows he's back there somewhere. And Uzi's waiting in CT spawn, or close to CT spawn for KQLY. Look at the standoff here. And actually, I think, is the game paused?
Yeah, it's paused. It's paused.
Ah.
I was wondering, that's like one of the ballsiest standoffs in the history of standoffs if they haven't moved for 4 seconds, right?
Yeah, I guess Maniac sort of gave it away, because actually everyone else could be forgiven for standing still right now, but I guess Maniac either way should have been moving, so a pause.
A pause. Dun, dun, dun.
Great play from
Checking
Apex.
chat, I don't see anything. Yeah, and again, Titan going for a 2-1-2, but kind of favoring B side, and again, that's like Epsilon. It just doesn't really work for them in the sense that they decide to go for a B rush, and I'm not sure if Titan had that information, if they were able to spot down mid and see maybe only one guy spotting, but then that's still not enough information to know that it's just going to be a full on YOLO rush straight up to B. So Epsilon, they run in 3 guys on the site, and that's what they need to do, right? And they kill the first guy instantly. Existence gets caught out in the open, and that's great, but they weren't counting on Apex being there so quickly at the doors. You could tell that they were all looking towards B site and expecting to just find that one last guy on the B site if he is in the site. But for there to be a guy on site and a guy at B doors so quickly like that, I think that caught Epsilon off guard.
Yeah, I think you may have been right. So that's pretty critical right now, because Titan really can't afford to lose any more rounds, can they? I mean, 9-2 would be that would be a disaster. I think that would be too much to handle. I mean, especially because they're going to be ecoing right away. That's almost the worst thing.
Here we go. Somebody, thanks, Dave. We have Dave Orlander. Godrun Skyman?
So
is similar, to Godrun Skyman in English. Opposite is Devil Walk Ground Woman.
Exactly. And that was the opposite. Devil Walk Ground Woman was the original iteration of Devil Walk's nickname. I think he was in the chat earlier as well, talking to people. So yeah, it is a Swedish politician as far as I know, and he just chose the opposite because he's crazy like that. So I don't know. It's an interesting way of coming up with the name, I suppose.
Dude, this guy drops his pants in front of 150,000 people. Like, Devil Walk's legit certified crazy. He's awesome.
Yeah, I hope he never goes away. That's one of the really good moments. I still, not just because I want to see Devil Walk with his pants off. Just generally, I'm saying that was a good reaction to a good win during DreamHack Winter. What else is going on here? I'm sort of worried. I hope they haven't decided to find a new server. I've had the IP is still up and running, so I'm hoping this is just like a legitimate pause, and that we'll be back in it soon enough. But yeah, it is kind of interesting. It's not too often that we get to see, two teams play on the very same map, straight in a row like this. Normally, if you have a best of 3 or something, you'd have 2 different maps, right? So it's fun to see, I think, how the result actually can be very different, even though they've just played.
Well, we saw, throughout the entirety of that first half, on the first map when these two teams played, right? It was coming down to just very close calls for Titan. They were barely eking out the win, only keeping like a guy alive or 2 guys alive, right? And this was round after round after round. So Epsilon were just falling short. This time around, Epsilon, they managed to break Titan's money early, and now, despite running into a pretty hard counter to what they were going for here in this round in particular, they're still keeping the pressure on Titan, and they have 8 rounds. Their CT side didn't really go too hot for them on the first map, though. So I think they really do need to get like 9 rounds at least, 9 to 10 rounds at least on their T side to have a shot at the CT side going into the second half. But still, Epsilon, I mean, they're en route. I'm wondering, if Foxio manages to find the shot on Kenny here, in B site, because if he does, that's great. Uzi is alive on B slope, but he's already done a tremendous amount of damage to KQLY coming in through CT. It could very well turn into a 1v2 where Maniac is going to have to just go and try and retake this B site 1v2 if things go according to plan here for Epsilon.
Yeah, and even worse, actually. I think you may be right, because if Kenny goes down to Foxio, it could be that Maniac could find himself in a 1-on-2 very quickly, actually, with the bomb down as well. I don't know. I'm trying to figure out if this pause, what the reason is, if it's going to be back anytime soon. Trying to see if I can get in touch with any kind of admin. Yeah, it is. I think it's just legitimately paused, so we'll be back hopefully soon enough. If you're just joining us in the meantime and you haven't been here from the beginning, then big welcome to the channel. This is, of course, Room on Fire, and we hope you guys are going to tune in tomorrow, where we do have our Case King tournament with all sorts of cool stuff, including a Facebook giveaway that's going on right now as well at the bottom of the stream. You guys can already go and participate. Get in there early and like the Facebook page, and you can win all sorts of cool stuff. And also, of course, tomorrow we're going to have a bunch of sub-giveaways too, so definitely go and join in on that too, guys. If you're here tomorrow and you're subscribed, you'll have a good chance to win. So, yeah, we'll remind you as well. We have Fnatic and Mousesports and NIP playing tomorrow in 2 best-of-3 games, so we're going to keep you guys entertained all evening, hopefully.
Oh, yes.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be good to be back for a full night. Tonight we just had these 2 games to enjoy. Of course, before this, there was the Legends series that was happening, so it was cool to watch Fnatic and VP clash. But only the 2 matches tonight. So tomorrow we're gonna get a full set of games all night long. It's gonna be great.
That was good, and VP didn't really seem like they were functioning 100%, and Fnatic just seemed like they've been playing just so well all the time. So I kind of come to expect Fnatic to play that well, to be honest, which is great. I'm just. I was hoping for a little bit more from VP, to be honest.
Well, with Crims and Olaf and the way that they're playing right now, the clever plays from Pronax and also just the individual skill that we're starting to see come to the fore, in particular from Crims. Fnatic are definitely, they're making they're really establishing themselves as a top 3 team right now, I think. At least in recent results, right? It might take a little bit longer for that to catch up, but I mean, they're definitely being able to hold their own versus Nib, versus VP, versus Dignitas, basically versus the best in the world. And that's fantastic to see, especially seeing as how these guys are a major title holder. They are Fnatic, the core lineup of that team, at least, Pronax, Flusher, and JW, they won the first major in DreamHack Winter at the beginning of, at the end of last year. So to see them come full circle, fall down, struggle, but then make a roster change and come right back up to the top, that's great.
Yeah, definitely not easy to do that. I mean, that's one of the cool stories, I think, about the Fnatic squad in general, is that, we've seen how much lineup changes can affect the team and how difficult it can be to get them back on track, even if the new additions are really good. But yeah, certainly the Fnatic team have something cool going on. I guess DreamHack Winter, if it is going to be a major, which we don't know yet, there are rumors, pretty much new rumors every single day. But if it is going to be a major tournament, then certainly that will be, I think that's going to be, potentially even better than the last 3. I think it's going to be even tougher competition and even crazier plays. It seems like the peak for Counter-Strike just keeps going up and up right now.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, definitely, dude. That's the really scary part, is like, it's just these teams keep getting better. And there's going to be a certain talk show that comes out soon where we actually spend like an hour talking about teams basically and how they're running together, how the calling works, how the communication goes, and the leading in particular on those teams, and how everything functions and how it's changed. So keep you guys' ears open for that. It should be out soon. But we go into that pretty in depth and really get into how teams are like evolving basically, and how the experience, I think, of a lot of these teams is coming to the fore now. When you're talking about guys who've been playing this game for like 10 plus years, it's a huge amount of experience that they fall back on basically. So now just the level is going to keep going up and up. Crazy part is that you still have players that don't necessarily have that experience, like Snacks and Bialy, who don't have like a decade worth of experience to fall back on, but who are still able to close the gap and perform at the top. So it's not like it's not possible. It certainly is interesting to see there are still players who are able to compete with the very best who have been playing the game for so long.
Oh, absolutely, and that's an encouraging thought as well to anyone who's... I mean, we do have such an incredible flood of newcoming players coming into the game, and it would be kind of tragic if those players had to play for 10 years before they could play at a top pro level. Some people are just more talented than others, and they can pick it up in a... I still think you have to have played this game for I mean, I would say 6 months to a year. And I think if you want to play at a pro level and do it within 6 months, you probably need help from one of your friends who is already a pro player and can really sort of shape you up. But within a year, you can probably do it. And I mean, the game's been out for more than that, so I think eventually we are going to see like a wave of newcomers that we've never heard of before that just turn out to be really frighteningly good. So I'm excited for that as well. Always am. Always am. All right. Still not sure what the pause is about, guys. Hopefully it's not like some sort of deep technical issue, but it's been going on for a little bit, so we do apologize for keeping you guys up longer than we normally would. Love to Sean Gares in the chat, who apparently has to go, but we do love you, Sean.
Sean! Later, man.
Yeah. Can't keep everyone up, right? Probably.
Yeah,
actually, do they have any games tonight over at Cloud9? Yes, they do.
Yeah, they do. They play Lunatic at 4 a.m.
They are playing Lunatic on season.
Oh.
Yeah.
Huh.
That's most of my unhappiness comes from the American games, because I tend to win some skins on the European games, and then I throw them away in the American matches, and then I promise myself solemnly every night that I'm not going to bet on any more American matches, and then I do it anyway, because I have absolutely no self-control.
No, you don't, dude.
It's just how it goes.
Like, now I don't even have to ask you, like, hey, I walk into the room and you're on your phone and you're kind of like scratching your head or you're smiling or whatever, and I just know that you're on CSGO Lounge. I don't even need to ask and be like, hey, man, are you on Reddit or something, or Twitter or whatever? It's just like, no, you're probably on CSGO Lounge. Just like, oh, man, this game, like, which way should I go?
Well,
like,
dude, the hard choices. The good thing is that actually, we're back into it, so never mind CSGO Lounge for now. FX or Fox Show is going to go down, and then we quickly pause again. That's probably just to let someone back on the server, but I think we should be good to go. Yeah, here it is. Uzi coming up. So 1-on-2 for him. Still more than a minute left. And with an AK in hand, he's going to have to find Kenny before Maniac shows up. Otherwise, it's going to be an unwinnable position. And a lot of lag going into it, but I don't think Uzi's going to be able to fight it out here. If Kenny stays, then Maniac's going to be there in about 1 more second, and then Uzi... I don't think he can do this. It's a little bit tough, and especially because there's, like, fire right next to him, right? This Molotov.
Yeah. That's a shame. It seemed like Fox had a real chance at taking Kenny S out there, because Uzi gets the kill on KQLY. He knew exactly where KQLY was, but FX or Fox, he probably had the harder job there just to try and find Kenny S. He knew that he was on the site, but he had to land that one shot. If he had a rifle, maybe it was a little bit different there, but that's going to be Titan picking up their 3rd round of this half now, and we'll see.
They even cremate his body afterwards. They're really thorough here.
The Viking funeral, yeah.
Exactly. That's a hugely important round for Titan. Epsilon have already been off to a really good start. They have a pretty ridiculous amount of money. You see SF actually starting off that round with 12,000. He's been spending 10,500 buying for his teammates. I think that must have included an AWP for Fox Show. And the leg shot comes in onto existence. Cheeky play.
he's hitting those shots so consistently. It's really scary, Fox. Like, even through the smoke, he's finding that shot. So existence can't be too pleased right now. Already down to 18. And that information, the thing is that FX, like Fox, he can't be like 100% sure that he landed that shot because it was through smoke, but not sure if they're going to just go for another B-split or not. They're leading with the bomb right now. It's Uzi who's taking point going in here, but the smoke is going to go down on CT, and they are going to go for this B play.
And here we see Existence going to be flashing up into window, already Molotov the doorway, and buying some time for teammates to come in. Kenny finally connecting with the spray, and the very last bullet here is going to take down ScreaMy. Gets another one. Kenny with a double, and Existence in the corner. 18 points of health, but he's already done quite a bit here, leaving Super Fighter alone. No bomb in hand, and in a 1-on-3.
Now, and Epsilon struggling somewhat there. Just sick hold by Kenny and Existence both. Existence not taking the fight at the doors, managing to back off into the corner and land the, more importantly, land the incendiary and the flash that slowed up Epsilon. But then Kenny, yes, in particular, man, those 2 kills at window. The second one on GMX is just disgusting. You would think that GMX is going to be able to just land 1 bullet on Kenny and get the job done, but Kenny catches him midair with a headshot, and that's when everything just falls apart completely for Epsilon.
And it honestly seemed like Kenny shouldn't have picked up either of those kills. It seemed like he was being way too sloppy with hitting the spray, and they should have been able to rush him down. But nicely done. And I mean, yeah, overall, Titan just managed to hold on exactly when they needed to.
And they managed to actually put Epsilon on eco now, so Titan are on the brink of picking up at least 5 rounds in this half. And this is basically where Epsilon have to draw the line and say, okay, you're going to get this eco round, but the remaining 2 rounds of this half we're going to take, and we're going to make this 10-5. That's what has to happen here for Epsilon. The question is whether they're going to have enough money to be able to get Foxio outfitted with an AWP.
They should. I think Uzi is going to probably buy for him, and they're going to buy for each other. They should be good to go, but I think you're right. 10-5 is the scoreline right now that Epsilon are gunning for. It'd be very disappointing if this whole pause sort of crumbles them and we end up at like 8-7 in favor of... I mean, if Titan just take the next 3 rounds in a row, I think that would be sad for Epsilon.
Yeah, that would definitely be a big opportunity missed out on. Apex with the disgusting nade on Cat manages to drop Scream down to 40. And Epsilon are kind of poking around. They've got the bomb with them on Cat, but it's going to be verified here. And Maniac actually pushing up onto Cat. Gets 2. Is he going to get a 3rd? He barely does. He actually gets it, but he gets it with his molly. Scream running into the flames. Actually dies there, and that's the bomb dropped. So Titan, they can be calm. Kenny's going to calmly click away the last shot there on the GMX. Last bullet in that mag as well. But that's Titan now with 5 rounds on the board.
Yeah, and not a bad idea, right? I mean, if the Titan players in this A bomb site had tried to rotate through short, or even better if they tried to rotate through CT spawn, then the people up on short would have been able to sort of storm out and kill them as they were running. So I kind of like that play from Epsilon. I mean, they had to try something, right? The problem is they lose the round. Now they're up against another double AWP setup here, and Epsilon currently haven't picked up an AWP right now. In fact, they've got 3 AKs and 1 CZ.
But look at what they're doing. They're going for the play. They're going for the mid play again. Apex pushed all the way up here. Kenny S with an aggressive position of his own. And Epsilon are actually backing off. They're backing up into T-spawn. Oh, the double potentially here. Fox. He gets the point-blank shot on Apex. That was a great spray. And Kenny gets caught by GMX.
Oh, wow. So Titan maybe overstaying their welcome. They stayed there for a long time. Maniac's now going to be pushing up here. 1 flashbang goes in. He's going to pick up the kill right here. And then he gets double-teamed instead. So now it's a 2-on-4. I think this round may have backfired on Titan more than they wanted it to. Uzi down in the middle here. KQLY's very close, and he's going to be scoped up middle. He goes down. Existence gets caught, and that's a great round for Epsilon. 9-5, and actually almost no money left for Titan as well. Interesting.
They'll have enough to drop, and I wonder if they just go for a straight-up AK. No, they're going to drop a FAMAS. Okay. So, or a straight-up AK, straight-up AWP. Because Maniac had a lot of money after that round. I was curious if he was just going to go ahead and drop the sniper rifle for Kenny, but instead we're just going to have rifles. 2 rifles? There we go. There's their FAMAS picked up on Apex. So they still have money for 4 rifles and good nades here on Titan's side. So it's not the end of the world for them. But Epsilon, just with a good call, but more importantly, landing the shots when they needed to. Apex getting caught out. That was a bit of a wishy-washy kill, but the second one from GMX onto Kenny, that was very good. Giving them the 2-man advantage like that was just so solid.
Yeah, I agree. That was interesting, especially because Kenny had the AWP there, so you'd have thought maybe he could have come out on top. I don't think he was expecting GMX to land that shot while he was sort of halfway running, and I wasn't really expecting it either, so just nicely done.
Oh, very, very nicely done. Yeah, and maybe, I think you're right, Titan kind of overstaying their welcome a little bit, trying to force something. And that's just confidence, I suppose. Confidence in their ability to get the shots when they need to. Land the shots when they need to, more importantly. So...
Oh, look here. The 1-2 combo again. Apex flashes in. Maniac's turn. He's going to go and peek, and he's going to get taken down by Scream. So it kind of backfires here, and Apex is going to go down as well, leaving KQLY at the A bomb site, but the bomb is actually making its way to B right now. Epsilon are throwing them for a loop.
Yeah, this is sick. Foxio is out on long now as well. That's the pickup on KQLY, who's holding on A slope. Scream is going to look for the flank on Existence. He's going to find the headshot, and now it's just down to Kenny S. Last man alive here. 1v5. Last round of the half. And no hope at all.
Scream with quad kill. It's going to finish 10-5. So, I mean, we keep... Oh, and then actually the game crashes, so we're just going to have to get right back in, guys. Don't worry, it's just going to be a second. We won't actually miss any of the game. It's just slightly annoying that it does this, but that's one of the perks of this type of GoTV that we're dealing with here. So, yeah. So, actually, the setup that they had, the flash setup there on short, we keep praising it a lot. I think there's a good reason why we keep doing it, because it is a very cool setup. Unfortunately... the backfire is that if you are a... Don't worry, they're not started yet. If you're a terrorist and you're pushing up on short like they were here, and you hear that flashbang coming in, instantly, if you've been playing for a while, you're going to be thinking, there's going to be a guy pushing, and that means that flashbang, it can also serve as a bit of a signal to the terrorists that, oh, someone's coming. And unfortunately, that that's kind of what happened there. Titan coming out on the short end of the stick. But now I think we're good to go.
Yeah, now it seems like it. Just really nicely done there by Epsilon. And they actually get the 10 rounds that I think they needed here at the end of the first half. 10-5 is definitely good work done there. And if they were to pick up the pistol round here, we could be looking at a 1-1 finish for the night here. And that would be a great victory for Epsilon Esports. I can't tell you how much that would mean if they can actually take a map off of Titan right now. There's so much to prove. And in particular for Epsilon, but definitely for Titan as well. I think Titan, it's a different kind of pressure. Epsilon are the ones who are just like, okay, we got nothing to lose. Let's just play our game. And, we want to get like vengeance, sure, but, let's just play our game. Whereas Titan, they have all the pressure on them as they are expected to win. Everybody expects them to crush. And so if they don't, that's a big upset for them. And that's definitely going to throw them for a loop.
Well, I mean, they did just win 16-8, and right now it's 10-5 in favor of the team that they just beat, so that's an uncomfortable position if I've seen one. And if Epsilon pick up this pistol round, I'm not sure if Titan can really do much to get back into it. Of course, there's always a chance, but it's going to be really rough here. Uzi doesn't get a kill. GMX going to get overrun, and that's a great entrance down on long here. FX is going to have to come up big with the P2000, but it's not even going to work out, not even close.
No, Maniac finding the flank. Perfect timing there. Scream gets clicked away by Kenny. Kenny could get 2. SF will find Kenny first, but still, only the 1 kill for Epsilon in this pistol round. Not a lot of money gained. And really just, unfortunately, having 2 guys at long and having made it past as well, but both of them not able to land the shots that they needed. That's the big thing there, is that Epsilon had a setup that could have worked very well for them over at long. They just weren't able to land the shots.
I agree. I mean, and, I guess with any setup, that's kind of sort of what it comes down to. You can put yourself in a great position, but when either Uzi or who was the GMX down there with him, none of them hit their shots, that's, the result was accordingly here. Uzi pushing up quite aggressively, and we'll actually find Kenny, and Foxjo's going to take down, Apex. So nicely done early on here for Epsilon. They've done good damage already, and if they can catch Maniac here in lower dark, that'd be interesting.
They're going to go together? No, one after the other, and that's not good enough. But then Scream manages to get the kill on Maniac just the same. Thought for a second there that Maniac would be able to land that second spray on him. So Titan managed to recover somewhat. Existence is still alive. KQLY is alive as well. But look at Foxio's position. He's going to be right behind KQLY. KQLY, is he going to be expecting the push up short? FXO's in a great position to get the flank, but he's not. He's playing too careful. I mean, they have the information now. They know where they are. But this is really scary here. Fox.
Oh, man. Scream only has 16 bullets. He's going to have to land some sick headshots, but he's actually going to get caught looking the wrong way, unfortunately. So Foxio has the AK in hand, but I think they realize he's coming. I'm not sure they quite heard him yet, actually. Existence doesn't really care if he's heard him or not. He's just going to land that instant headshot, and the round will be stabilized by Titan. That was very scary. They could have easily lost that, but they do manage to bring it back, and probably they should be able to pick up this next one, which would make it 10-8. And at that point, I think it's anybody's game, right?
Yeah, at that point, Epsilon go for the buy, 19th round buy. And, Fox is currently saving up. He's invested $300 in this round, but he's still got just below 3,000. So he's going to have enough to buy that AWP in that first round, which is going to be the big play here for Epsilon. Basically, let Fox go at it, and that's what happens, Maniac. 6 shot there by SF, and now Apex taking a bit of damage as well.
Yeah, no head armor. That's the huge risk of not buying head armor if you're on the terrorist side here. Apex will get the shot on, but that's still not the best way of starting.
That's what happens when you get greedy, really. And you don't see a lot of players go for that or do that anymore either, so I'm really surprised that Maniac, maybe that was just an honest mistake, like he actually forgot to buy head armor. Sometimes it happens, I don't know.
It could be. Kenny sneaking up here. Good angle's going to take down GMX. That's what they need. On the Titan side, at least. That
must have been a conscious decision. He's only got $50 left, so he ran the risk and he got punished. Nicely done there by SF. But right now it's just Epsilon. They still have good guns. I mean, they've got a P250, 2 P250s, so they can do some damage here. It's a matter of finding the shot, though. And right now, Epsilon, they're about to get hit hard on this B site, and it's only Scream here alive to defend behind big box. He's trying to keep eyes on Upper Dark, but now it's all going to come down to his fancy footwork. Can he stay alive long enough to buy some time for his teammates to rotate in?
They've already spotted him, and Kenny almost goes down, but it's just not good enough. And that will give Titan this bomb site, and I don't know, Uzi and Fox coming up. Lower Dark 1 here is going to go down, and the bomb has been planted as well, so now things are really not looking good.
Yeah, nicely done by Apex. Uzi is caught. And so, yeah, this is the big round, Anders. This is it, 19th round here. And Epsilon, they're going to have the money to buy. Foxio just $50 short of picking up Kevlar, so he's going to have to go double flash, but he has that AWP. And the rest of them do have the money for rifles. SF should have enough for a kit here. No, he decides to invest in another nade, so no kit picked up by Epsilon. They're really committed to just stopping this push before it ever gets to a bomb site.
And no body armor at all on Foxio, which is also interesting here. One grenade could do a lot of damage, and he's actually going to pick up the kill on Existence and then just charges back immediately. That's a great opening from Epsilon.
There must be a smoke that we can't see on SF side. Maniac is going to rush through it, but SF is going to be ready on B Slight, and that's going to be great play here. Apex manages to find Scream somehow alive on that B slope. So Apex bringing it back to a 3-on-4, but still, this is Epsilon with a man advantage, and they should be able to make this work. SF has to stay alive on this B site.
Yeah, he's looking the wrong way, and Kenny gets a free kill on him, and that's a big problem, and I think actually Epsilon could have done more to help out Superfighter then, because he was alone for a very long time, and they did have a couple of people stacked up in the middle that could have probably flashed their way through that smoke. Now they're in an awkward position, even in a 2-on-2.
Well, Fox is alive in upper, and both of these guys are playing B plateau right now. Kenny has been spotted, shot there from Foxio. He hits it through the box. That drops Kenny down to 60. Uzi is going to manage to rotate in. Goes for a bank shot with the nade, but that's not going to connect, and now they have to just do it the hard way here. But it's not going to happen. The crossfire is set up. Kenny from sight is going to stop Uzi from getting through those doors, and now KQLY up close to Foxio, who misses his point-blank shot and basically hands the enemy team Opper a sniper rifle. But Titan, they throw it away. KQLY's actually going to hold on to his AK instead of taking that AWP.
Yeah, and they did this on the first map as well, or on the first time they played Dust 2 here. They really weren't much for playing with the AWP on the terror side. They just wanted to be more mobile, more aggressive, moving around a lot more, I guess. I'm surprised that Epsilon couldn't hold that round. I mean, Superfighter was in a tough position, but it felt like Epsilon made the least of the position they had, basically.
No, they tried. Yeah, they tried in the end, and it just didn't pan out. Titan are looking very good, making the right calls.
Maniac. That was like a casual click. He just casually clicked on the wall before he was reloading. I don't think he actually meant to kill anyone. It was just like a, you know, an accident almost. But it got the headshot on one guy. That was ridiculous.
Oh, Fox, there's the bait and switch, but it doesn't work. Existence actually picking up both of those frags at mid. Apex is alive on the B slide, and he's going to pick up GMX, who is alive on B slope. And this is going to be 10-10 now. Titan getting way too much momentum and way too much money on their side of the map. They've got great bank on their side. So Titan are going to be able to keep up a lot of pressure on Epsilon right now. Epsilon, I think it's again, new teams, right? And just decisions are going to have to get refined basically for Epsilon because they're in situations that they should be able to win. It's just coming down to making the right call at the right time. And right now we're not seeing it necessarily from Epsilon. So they're relying quite a bit on just their ability to aim at this point.
So that means the score's now actually been equalized from a 10-5 lead now to a 10-10 tied score. Good start here for Epsilon as they pick off two people. That's Kenny and Apex both down. And Uzi might be able to catch KQLY here. He won't, but he does some good damage to him, bringing him down to 29. And again, a position here where the CTs have the advantage, and they should be able to hold on to it just by playing, you know, a simple trading game, basically.
Oh, KQLY gets offered a freebie there. GMX will find the kill, though. But then Maniac, with the good timing on Cat, decides to push in, turns it into a 2-on-2. Scream alive, instant headshot on Maniac. That's going to force him back around the corner. And now Existence, good swap around. Existence leading with the high health. Smoke is going to slow him down, but he's going to be able to go for that plant yet again. Planning for Cat with that new bomb plant position.
And he gets it down and turns it into a 1-on-1. And actually, he has the health advantage as well with the AK. Scream's picked up a triple, but he's going to have to go for a quad here. He's looking for Existence. His old leader. It's Belgian versus Belgian player right here. And Existence with a headshot comes out on top with the AK. And that's a massive round for Titan. What an upset.
Wow, that looked like it was so feasible there for Epsilon, but Titan, they felt like they mapped that out so well. Existence finding the right time to get in there and actually get that plant without Scream being able to do anything about it. Scream couldn't actually stop that plant from happening. And Existence, yeah, they lose Maniac, but he gets the kill, turns it into a 1-on-1. Existence is playing very well on this team right now. We're seeing some great shots from him.
And now Kenny, maybe motivated by that last clutch there from his leader, is now going to be coming back into it with the AWPs hiding here. Does spot out the player, and that's GMX going down. And last time Epsilon had a great start. This time they have a horrible start, and they still lost the last round. So that's not looking good right now here for the CT side. They do pick up the 1 kill, but they've lost the A-bomb site. It's a 3-on-2.
SF doing his best to stop the push coming in from B site, and that's very nicely done by him, but it's still a 2-on-3. And you're right, Titan, they're going to be able to get up onto this A site. The bomb is at cross right now. Scream is looking to try and put some pressure down here. With the smoke actually cutting up this site, this is going to allow Existence to get the plant, actually, so that's not very helpful there. And Scream, unfortunately, now getting kind of caught out in the open and hammered.
Yeah, they put the bomb down. I think it's even for long, so it means even if they kill the 2 people on this site, Kenny's still going to be down in the pit, and they have to deal with him somehow. And right now, well, Scream, he couldn't make the 1-on-1 last time. Now he's in a 1-on-2. Looking for the shot here on KQLY, who just has to hide. Scream forced forward. Doesn't have a kit, doesn't have any grenades here, and he's going to go down. That's a double for Kenny, double for KQLY, and now 12-10 lead right here for Titan. They really stepped it up. Right now, I think Epsilon haven't won a single round in the second half at all. That's painful.
That's painful. That's pain, for sure. And it seems like GMX is going to make the call that they're going to go for the force buy. And this is definitely Epsilon. Like, what you see with this buy is basically them starting to get afraid that they're losing control in this half. That they realize we have to get some rounds on the board. We have to actually get a round on the board already and start chaining them together, because Titan are starting to get out of control. And they can't let Titan get out of control. It's going to be like the first map all over again.
Yeah, it definitely seems like once Titan get their foot in the door, they're just never going to give up, are they? Kenny's going to pick off GMX. That was just a shoulder, wasn't it? Just the shoulder
That was
showing.
just a shoulder. That was sick. Kenny, and that was like a basically strafe, stop, shoot, just perfect. That's what Kenny's known for right there.
Luckily, Foxio does come up with a kill on short. He crazily pushed in here. And he's going to get caught the second time he tries it from Maniac. Backup is here, though, close by, and Scream takes some time to get the kill. He's reloading in the meantime. That's not good. KQLY's weirdly trapped with the bomb here on short. He's going to have to either get this kill on Uzi or get some backup, and Uzi will take him down. That's a big kill. Epsilon not giving up just yet.
Never say never. Now Kenny is alive in a 1-on-3, but he's over on that A site. Only problem is that Epsilon have got the bomb at top mid. Now is KQLY getting caught out, not really able to get to meet up with his mates. It seemed like he wanted to try and stop that push from coming in on Cat. Only problem is that he got the bomb and he got flanked. And now Scream has spotted out Kenny, so they know that he's alive, and you can see Scream kind of crouching forward. They've even got the flash. Uzi's going to flash SF around the corner, and Scream could take the peek as well, but Kenny realizes at the last second that's not a good idea to go around there and expose himself. 15 seconds left. Tries to make the jump. He's going to get the kill. And this is just Kenny right now, just playing out of his mind.
Yeah, that was a pretty ridiculous flick on Scream. Ultimately, Kenny's not going to win the round. He's still got to pick up one more kill. He goes down after the time is out, so great play from Epsilon. That's actually going to dig pretty deep into Kenny's economy, but he will have enough money to buy in. They actually have almost 14,000 on KQLY. I do like the part where Scream actually ducked to try and crouch under Kenny's sniper scope in Lower Dark. That was, yeah. Have you ever played that game called Commandos? Like a top-down game where you control like a group of soldiers. Well, it kind of felt like that. Just trying to avoid the sniper up in the tower. Just make sure he can't get an eye on you. That was something like that. Interesting style.
Oh, look at Titan.
Oh, it could have been a great spray down here, but SF is going to pick it up, and Foxio grenade to follow here. They do have a 2-on-3. It's looking good. Backup's going to come in. No bomb plant yet. Epsilon, they might be able to tie the score here once again.
Yeah, they've got the smoke down to block. GMX can't get the spray. It looks like Kenny is actually, it crossed his mind to go for a peek outside, but it looks like they're just going to go for the plant. Apex is there to cover his mate. Make sure that Epsilon can't exactly get in here for free, but Epsilon are gathering up for a B-split push. Well, B-split push, rather a B-slope push. There's the flash out, and there's the kills. Kenny with the double, and he turns it into a 1-on-1.
Oh, GMX has to do this. He's going to run through the smoke, and he's not going to find Apex, and a big throwaway, I think, from Epsilon. It seemed like, because you were right, I think it looked like they were going to try and put one guy through upper or lower dark to wrap around, but I'm not sure that's even necessary. At that point, When you have a 2-on-3 and you pretty much know because the bomb just went down, you know one guy is going to be roughly in the bomb planting zone, right? Unless he somehow cheated and planted outside that zone. You know he's going to be in there. So even if you brute force it, there is a pretty good chance you're going to come out on top, right? It felt like they made that situation more complicated than it needed to be almost.
And they're just not going to let up the pressure right now, Titan. They want to make sure that they don't let Epsilon get any kind of breathing room. Apex, double entry frag onto B site, cleans it up single-handedly. Bomb isn't even here yet. That's how fast he is. He gets the third one on a Fox Yo. KQLY should find GMX at Longhouse, though. And there we go.
Yeah, bit of a strange battle. Uzi is going to go down, and now we are looking at 14-11. Titan, just when they were about to get equalized on, they pulled something crazy away, and now Epsilon actually have to force it up here. They don't have a choice. They don't have a lot of money, so it's not going to be the most impressive buy, but it's either that or giving the match and map point to Titan.
Yeah, that round win really screwed them. That was the problem. When it came down to the money, they just didn't have... they reset it. They reset it down to 1,400, that loss. So now Epsilon, they do actually manage to get a pretty reasonable force out of it. Good nades. They still have smokes. They still have a couple flashes. Nearly everybody has rifles. Foxio, he has that CZ, but he's going to get caught on Cat. GMX is now going to be alive for a double headshot. Existence and Kenny S both getting caught, and Scream finds one on Maniac.
Yeah, smart check by Scream in that corner, making sure they could kill Maniac. So, I mean, you got to remember these lineups. You might as well consider these lineup brand new, even if some of the players have been playing together for a while in different constellations. And it's going to take a long time before we see their full potential. But definitely the core, the raw material for both teams are definitely there to work on here. Bomb's going to go down, and Apex will be dropped. So now it's a 1-on-3 here for KQLY. He can clutch it. He's in a decent position to try and make it a 1-on-2 really quickly. Actually, he's been snuck on here already. Goes for the first kill, but can't find Uzi. And Epsilon will finally pick up another round.
No, just barely managing to hold on to that one, but Uzi with a very nice... you could see Uzi just steal himself as well for that duel towards the end with Apex. I mean, they had the man advantage, and he did spot out exactly where Apex was. Goes for the first shot, and then you can kind of see like this split-second hesitation, and then he's like, no, I'm going to get that kill. Apex is not getting away. Just rounds the corner and gets the shot, and that opens it all up for a 1v3 versus KQLY. So, Epsilon... doing what they needed to do there. GMX, I believe it was GMX who got the initial 2 frags on Cat as well, and that was a crucial play there for Epsilon. A lot of this is coming down to the individual aim, though. They lose Foxio, but he only had a CZ. It was just important that the man backing him on Cat get the kills, and that's what happened for Epsilon.
Yeah, I think that sums up that round, and now they just need to keep going. Epsilon invested a fair bit into this round. If they lose it, they're not going to be able to buy, and then they'll have a really awkward force-up for what may be the last round. Titan, on the other hand, well, they probably prefer to just win outright here, not put it too much closer. But if they lose a round here, they can actually still force up in the next one. And that's obviously a big problem, a big worry for the CT side. GMX flashed in, and he almost catches the kill on Apex. Now FXO is going to flash himself in, which is a mad idea, but it still works out. Takes down Kenny.
I think that's why it does work, is because that is a bad idea, even if it is Kenny. But they're just like, you can see Kenny just trying to turn back in time. He's like, what? Somebody's pushing now? Okay. And it actually works. So Epsilon bring it back to a 4-on-4. They aren't going down without a fight, Anders. They're definitely not out of this. I
think that kind of summarizes a lot of what Foxio is doing in general. It is just like so crazy that almost no one else would do it. But he gets away with it, and he's going to take down Maniac as well. KQLY with a good return. It's back into a 3-on-3, but they do kill the guy in the middle. They give up the A-bomb site for it, and Apex actually has a Molotov here. If he can Molotov them away from short, that might give them some time to adjust here. But the big thing, I think, is probably going to be SF coming out on long.
Yeah, SF not wasting any time, and this is going to be a great position for him because Existence is going to get caught out in Goose and headshot from SF, not letting that opportunity pass. Apex does manage to pick off Uzi from Cat, though, and SF...
Oh my god.
God, Apex is so good right now.
He is, and actually, Epsilon very nearly lined up for a double headshot there. I think they could have both been killed by Apex then. That was a little bit sloppy, I would say, from Epsilon. They could have lost
too close.
Yeah, a little bit too close, right? Don't give him that kind of opening. 14-13 though, so sloppy or not, they're bringing it back right here. They've lost the first 7 rounds in a row, but now here towards the end where it really starts to matter, they're actually stepping it up. They're
really making a fight out of this. Kenny, and again, no AWP for Titan. which is really interesting when you're talking about Dust 2. I mean, this is like the iconic Dust 2 like op map. Like you see the op battle at mid. That's what happens. And to not be taking advantage of spawns or to even just be taking that fight straight up mid is really interesting from Titan. Like they just don't, they're not interested in giving Kenny the AWP. And I mean, you can talk about that on T side as well, where if you do have the man on with the AWP, you expect him to be getting you your entry frag, so it kind of does slow down your game. So maybe Titan want to be a bit more quick on their feet with the rifles and just be able to play more aggressive. But it just doesn't. It's not what we expect to see, right? When you have Kenny and KQLY on your team.
Oh, Scream getting forced back. He's going to go down, not being covered by SF, and I would say a very sloppy defense coming out here from Epsilon. They really could have done that a lot better now. KQLY's up here on short. It's going to get a free kill on Fox Shield. Jumps down in CT spawn, Freiburg style coming out, but it's not going to have the same effect. And somehow we have ended up in a one-on-one. In spite of Titan, they should have been able to close this round already, I think.
This is so close. Existence, he's won a clutch already. Can he do it again? And he's in the right position to do it as well. The bomb has been planted for Upper Dark. Only problem is that Uzi knows exactly where he is, but that's not going to matter. Existence with the spray down as soon as Uzi pushes through. And that is going to be 15 rounds now for Titan.
So when Titan on the CT side were having this defense, what they did is they had Kenny all the way in the back here with an AWP, and he was scoped up, always looking to Upper Dark. And then they had Existence at the doorways looking down middle. And the reason this works is because Existence doesn't have to worry about Upper Dark because Kenny's there. But the way that Epsilon were holding, they had Scream here, they had SF weirdly in the back, which meant that Scream actually got backstabbed before SF even could do anything about it. So that setup is just basically illogical. Like, there's almost no way that that can work out if somebody comes from Upper Dark. The best thing that can really happen is that SF is able to get a return frag. And that's not kind of how you want to set up your CT side defense. Put it like that.
No, that's how you set up your T side offense, basically.
Yeah. I mean, there was just... I don't know. I think they probably had a different idea in mind. Maybe they were out of position compared to what they wanted to be in, but certainly that was kind of a very bad version of Titan setup.
This is still just ironing out the kinks, right? Growing pains with the new roster.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Everybody trying to figure out the communication, how things are going to go, right? I mean,
I mean, I don't want to bring it like the massive hammer of judgment just yet and be like, oh, Epsilon have failed, because it's way too soon to call it out like that. But certainly that one round was, you know, some confusion involved.
Epsilon have managed to get 2 rifles on their side. They got a double deagle play as well. Scream and GMX both with the hand cannon. Still looking to see exactly where Titan decide to take this, seeing as how they're the ones with the gear, and it does look like it's going to be the B play here. This SF point blank gets sprayed down by Apex, and there's still a man alive. Scream with the deagle. He needs to find the headshots.
Yeah, this is going to be really rough. Uzi has to get some great crossover kills here, and he's going to need backup as well from his teammate coming up. GMX is getting triple teamed, and he's going to go down, and the problem is that KQLY's down here as well. I think Titan might just be able to do this. Uzi, well, he's sort of just waiting around here. The bomb is finally going to